So this one time in the Army, car ran into the side of my Army truck. What's up, my friends? I'm U.S. Army veteran ThatChrisChaos, and welcome to an all-new video. And to make things just a little easy, a little bit, I don't know, subtle, I decided to do a little story time kind of video. So if the Army kind of content is what you like, maybe even some Army stories, and you're not yet subscribed to this channel, well, maybe think about hitting that subscribe button. Also think about clicking on that bell so you get alerts as soon as new videos go live, to include the live streams and become a part of that awesome notification platoon. So let's dive into the story about this one time when I was in the Army and this car ran into the side of my truck. So, set the scene. It was a midday, Fort Riley, Kansas. I was maybe a specialist, maybe PFC, something like that, I think. And as an 88 Mike, you had still normal missions you had to do even when you're not deployed or in the field. One of those missions was going to like the parts department or the parts warehouse to pick up a lot of parts for the vehicles to bring back to the motor pool for the mechanics, so they have the parts they need for, you know, maintenance and for working on trucks and fixing some of the vehicles that we have in our unit. So as an 88 Mike, sometimes you would go and take one of the mechanics with you. We would go down to the warehouse to have all the parts that are, you know, for our unit loaded onto this truck to bring back to the motor pool and get downloaded there, and the maintenance guys would have all the parts they need to fix stuff. So on this particular day, I was tasked to drive it was a Hemet truck at this time. It was a big old Hemet, and I was driving the Hemet, and I had a mechanic in the passenger seat, and we were supposed to link up over there, I think at 1300 or a little after 1300. So we were leaving the motor pool at roughly around, I think it was like maybe 12:45 or something like that. So leaving the motor pool on Fort Riley at this time is pretty busy because everybody's coming back from lunch. Everybody usually takes lunch from 11:30 or 12 till about 1300, and then everybody's trying to get back to the motor pool, back to their place of duty, whatever that is at. So traffic was pretty busy. We had a back road behind the motor pools that you would take, but we still had to get back around to the main road to get over towards the warehouse. So once we got towards the main road, there was kind of like this intersection type of thing. I don't remember if it's still the same now. If I can find a good image of it, then maybe it pops up. If not, then I probably don't have a good image of that area. If it's still the way it was back then, it might have changed since then. But you kind of had this area where you had a merging lane to merge with the rest of traffic. And between the merging lane and the main road was just a grassy area. It was just like a little open spot where there was no road or anything like that. So I was pretty safe from cars right there. It was pretty busy on traffic, so I really couldn't get out there and merge because there was a lot of cars coming down that road. So I'm in this big truck, parked, we're stopped, waiting for traffic to kind of clear up a little bit for me to be able to get onto that road and everything. And then all of a sudden I see this car coming straight at the truck. Now it's from an angle, I guess not head on, I guess not straight at the truck, but coming, as I'm looking, watching traffic, I see this car coming across that grass and plowed right into the side of my truck. Now I'm in this big Hemet truck, so I'm pretty safe, all right? I'm okay. It slams into the second tire from the front tire, rocks the hell out of the truck and everything like that. And the only thing it really did to the truck is he kind of like nicked the fuel tank and then smacked the tire, and it blew out the tire and, you know, kind of scraped across the fuel tank. Not good enough to poke a hole in it, so I wasn't like leaking any fuel or anything, but it did give a big old gash down the side of the fuel tank. But this guy's car was destroyed. This guy's car was crushed in pretty good. I didn't get a chance to like check on the guy or anything like that. As soon as it happened, there was other soldiers that were quickly stopping to check on, you know, the driver, check on us in the truck. Us in the truck, we were fine, so they had us, you know, kind of move off to the side, and they were, you know, checking on the guy inside the car, and I think he was okay inside the car. Later I found a little bit more stuff, but at the time, you know, we were just staying out of the way, staying off to the side and everything like that. I remember our leadership, you know, they got down there. I don't remember we had cell phones. I don't think cell phones weren't yet of a big thing. I mean, some people had cell phones around that time frame, but they weren't as popular as they are now. But our leadership ended up coming down, checking on us. The MPs were there, checking out the scene and everything like that. Had to write out a statement of what happened to the MPs. And then for precautions, I had to go to like the hospital and get checked out and everything. I remember I had to wait in the waiting room for a little bit, and I heard this female come into the hospital while I'm waiting in the waiting room to get checked out. And she comes in, and I remember she's like, I need to see my husband. I guess he got hit by a truck and all this stuff. And I'm right there. I'm like I obviously didn't say anything, but I'm like, lady, I was the guy in that truck, and he hit me. I didn't hit him. But I don't know how she got some kind of weird information, but I remember this lady all panicking and freaking out and coming in saying that my husband got hit by a truck, I guess, and I'm here to come see him and all this stuff. And I'm like that's not how it happened. So I have to get checked out. I had like a bruise on my side, and it was just from the truck rocking so hard that my side kind of like smacked up against this this gear shift that you have inside the vehicle that kind of like almost like a 4-wheel drive type of gear shift. I forget what it actually kind of does. It's kind of like to bring it into like a low gear kind of a thing for certain, to get better traction or whatever kind of a thing on maybe some hills or whatever. But I smacked into the side of that thing because the truck rocked pretty good, and it had a little bit of a bruise, but because there's some kind of artery right there, they were like, well, we got to take appropriate precautions. So they made me like walk around on crutches for like a week. Later, I ended up finding out that guy in that car ended up breaking both of his legs, I guess, in that car accident and everything. I didn't really ever hear anything more about what happened to the guy, who he was, never met the guy, never heard any more status about him. He never met me or anything. From there, he just kind of went his own way. I went my own way, I guess. I don't know if he continued to stay in the Army or if he got medically chaptered or what. I don't really know. But I did get word from someone saying, oh yeah, that guy broke both of his legs. So there was obviously nothing on my end, right? I wasn't responsible for the accident or anything. I just, was there. I had to do a little statement of what happened, and the truck eventually got fixed, and that guy moved on with whatever he had to do. I don't know if he ever got charged or anything for that, or if it was just chalked up as an accident and maybe his insurance company had to pay something to the Army. I don't really know beyond that. But it ended up resulting in me having to be stuck on crutches for a week as a precaution kind of a thing, and got out of PT for a week because I had like no PT for like a week. So that part was kind of cool, I guess. So that was my story about the time that this car ran into the side of my truck while I was stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas. If any of you veterans out there or current people in the military want a story they want to share about something crazy that happened, maybe leave it down in the comments down below if you wish to share it, or maybe check out some of them if I can, or all of them if I can, and maybe some of you can, enjoy some of the other stories from some veterans or current Army individuals. If this is something you're interested in, you want me to do some more story time kind of stuff, well, let me know in the comments as well. Also, be sure to hit that thumbs up. Check out links down in the description for other content as well, such as social media and everything else. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Christopher Chaos, and I'll see you next time. See ya.